Hello, welcome to the Soul Vision channel. I'm welcoming you to a new episode. This time I'm speaking to Nomita Metha. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Nomita, you are calling from where?
I am in Yakima, Washington.
Wow, from
State.
Washington.
Mhm.
Nomita is a coach, a mentor, a spiritual person, and she has a wonderful story because her story is from being a burned out dentist, going on to her journey to find herself, looking especially through the lens of money, and finding her true self. And she's on her journey since 8 years. And I met Nomita in a special coaching, in her coaching, which was called the Money Map. And she has a very powerful tool where she looks through the lens of money and can really uncover the deepest blocks within us that withhold us from the fullest life that we can live. And I'm really looking forward to this interview, Nomita. Welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nomita, can you tell us a little bit in your own journey, in your own words about your journey and where you're at right now?
Yeah, I can tell you that I was a classic Indian brought up girl, arranged marriage, uh, got into dental school like a good girl, and 21 years of non-stop dentistry, um, married, 2 kids, and I finally crashed. And that's a crashed in the sense the practice was the only thing that was doing well, but I was really struggling in my marriage. I felt I was really a very, very strict mom. Just everything was about, get things done. There was really no connection with the kids because I was exhausted by the end of the day every day. And so thank God that the universe intervened, and I just happened to find this person who wanted to buy my practice, and I finally said yes. And so it's been 8 years since that time. And honestly, right after I sold my practice, I literally did not have an identity. It was like the rug was pulled from underneath me, and I was now not even this dentist with a practice. I was really not a good wife, not even a mom to call myself a mom. So I did not know who I was, and that place of being in that unknown, really hard place, I today look back and I thank God for going through that phase where I didn't know who I was, because it was only after going through that something emerged. Yeah.
Wow, what a story. And I think so many people can relate to that. When we're focused so much on our jobs, I can relate as well. When the career becomes everything and every else becomes second. And then when we lose that, who are we, right? We go through this identity shift and through this, let's say, the dark night of the soul, where we simply don't know who we are anymore. But how did the journey continue for you? And what was a new identity that came from that to you?
Well, so the so many aspects, of course, you're constantly uncovering more and more about yourself, and then your connection with everything, your relationship with everything. That's what keeps emerging, keeps kind of getting so much more profound, so much more um you know deeper, but so much more intense. You start to really like, this is my intensity of connection to this is this. um and yeah, so as there's now no labels to, oh, who is this new person, but I can just, if I have to kind of describe this new, this kind of this person who came out from that cocoon, uh I'm truly feeling myself as an energy, as a, you know, mm, yeah, I am truly an energy wherever I go. It's different aspects of this energy is what I
Mhm.
feel I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you said, and I can also relate to that. How you said there is no label anymore, and I can remember before I started to go into this shift, maybe society really conditioned me to always search for the label. And now, once we break free, we go through this phase where we have several labels, where we try this, we try that, and we understand that we don't have to be this one thing. We can immerse ourselves in so many different aspects. And one thing that I really liked that you pointed out is that before you didn't feel that you really succeeded in your relationships, and then afterwards you understood that you were in relationship with everything and you were really working on your relationships. How did that look like, the relationship work, and
Yeah.
how what were the nuggets of wisdom that you found on that journey?
Yeah. That's a really good question, Sylvia. Such a needed thing, right? Um, so answering your question, my whole approach, uh, that this journey, I kind of am now looking back and seeing and still in it, is that it's about, like, it really is about my relationship within myself to myself. That's the only work. That's the only work. As I am in relationship with myself and feeling more and more complete, more and more truly satisfied, all the things we look for outside, as I'm finding and owning and receiving that within me, and that is the journey. Then I my that vibration, that person and that vibration automatically doesn't need anything from anyone. Now I'm no more in relationship for anything with my husband or my kids or friends, family. And so this energy that is now more and more feeling complete in itself, all it does in its relating is share that fullness, that joy, that happiness. And there is a wisdom in it, in that completeness. So that's all that keeps coming out. And guess what? Everybody else likes that because they can also sense there is no pull, there is no judgment, there is nothing needed. And so they also start to bring out that aspect of them, because we all are that. And then you just start to connect just differently. Does that make
Wow,
sense?
beautifully said. Yes, it totally makes sense. Um, I liked what you said, that once we are complete, or everybody is striving for fulfillment. And what is this fulfillment? It is this completion of the soul. And you said that beautifully, like once we are fulfilled, once we are complete, we don't need anybody, but we can truly be in relationship because we come from a full cup. So we're overflowing, and it's not like filling each other's void and needs. What I like about your journey, especially with the dentist, because I'd say also in Germany or maybe in the world, like the dentist is maybe the classical job of, oh, you did it all right, right? You nailed it, you succeeded, you have a successful career. And then I question, like, why do we do all this? Because we want to live fulfilled. And then I like about your journey how you're telling that it took you to a completely other dimension where you could really reach fulfillment. Beautiful.
Yeah, that perfectionism of the dentist, which is you think that perfectionism will lead to that fulfillment, it'll be perfect, full, satisfied. And it didn't, for me at least. All it did is it finally burnt me out. And so you're like, like, this is not it. And I had to completely shift, because there was a dead end really in my life.
But maybe I have a question for you there, because how did this burnout develop? Because before you said that you have been working 20 years in this job, or 21 years, and you really loved this job, and the career was the only thing that was working 100%. So how was this process? When did you really understand, oh, actually the job is a problem?
Yeah. So that's the thing. See, dentistry is a great profession. You're actually working with people, helping them. And I love people. So that interaction was beautiful. The money is good. The status is good. I mean, it's all good. It's a nice career for sure. Um, but here's the thing. And so it's not the career that's at fault at all. No career is ever going to be. But the way I approached it was that I thought that getting better and better at that, it would fulfill me. And I was approaching it from all the egoic standpoints of, one day I'll feel fully like I'm somebody, I'll be that $1 million dentist. One day I will, whatever, my patients, I'll have so much, my practice will be this kind of a state of the art practice. One day my staff, oh my god, I was like, it'll be so picture perfect that I'll just have to show up, take care of the patients, and I'm out, but everything else is like just self-managed. All those things were I thought that's like when it'll be perfect. And it never, those are goals that are so fake, because they are from your egoic mind. And so you never arrive at those. You never arrive. They don't even have fulfillment in them. And you will never arrive. And thank God we don't arrive, because that's when you realize at one point that this is never ending. I'm never reaching anywhere. And everything else, my family, kids, was starting to fall on the wayside, because I was so determined to make it to that end, which was just never there, right? Like a mirage. You think there's water there, and there isn't water. You'll never reach water. That mirage in a desert where you think now there's water. It's like that.
But sometimes people say you have to compromise. No, you have, now I'm lacking the word. You have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice things in order to reach your goals, right? Maybe you have to put your job first in order to really reach your success. How would you, how would you react to that, such a standpoint nowadays?
Yeah, Sylvia. No, all that sacrifice, all those are all those are towards egoic goals. So some amount of sacrifice, I mean, I sacrificed, only then this practice was booming. It was really doing well. I sacrificed my home life, my health, my relationship, my marriage, all that. So yeah, there is a clear, but all that is, do you see that? All that is in that illusion world where you think you will make it at the end of it. If there was an end point in that world of true satisfaction, true fulfillment, I'd say the sacrifice is worth it. Do the sacrifice. But the weird thing is, there is no end point. There is no satisfaction in that world. In that, so all your sacrifice is also going to be of no use, because you will never reach an end point. So the whole point is to get out of that world and, find where the truth is. What's the truth of this life? That's really the journey.
Wow, beautifully said. I like how you said that it's an illusionary world, and we can, We can get stuck in there. So let's talk about how to get out of this and how to get into this journey of finding ourselves. Yeah, I want to also come back to one more point. You said that you told me once that you had a very interesting journey also in terms of your finances. So what happened when you sold your company, and which role did money play in finding your true self and finding where you still needed to grow?
Yeah, that's a good one, Sylvia. Yeah. So really the one of the things that was driving me was a childhood conditioning that I had, that I have to be independent. If I lose financial independence, then I'm going to be, squished. Like my husband will rule over me, or the world will look, kind of push me around. So it was really important that I was always financially independent. And this career is perfect for that. And so after I sold my practice, um, for at least 6 to 7 months, I still continued paying for half of our household expenses, like I was doing all my life with my husband, just because I did not want that, he is now paying for our house, and I'm not, and so now he has the right to kind of rule over me. I was so afraid because it was such a deep conditioning. And so I remember by the second or third month, he even offered, he said, Nomita, you don't have to pay now, like relax, like I'm earning and I can, you don't have to now contribute. And I took it, instead of being happy, I was like, how dare you? Are you trying to, you know, make me go down so that you can then, can you imagine? But this is how deep some of our conditionings are. And so then uh, in that sixth, seventh month, I mean, I kind of realized this, I can't really sustain this. It's impractical. Because I hadn't picked up another job or anything. Thank God. I was in that ugly space of nobodiness. But at the same time, I realized I can't keep contributing like this. So I stopped just on my own. 1 month I didn't. And I just was so alert, like, how is he behaving? If he says even one thing, I'm going to, go back. But in fact, the reality was that nothing like that happened. I had, equal say in things, and like none of those imaginary things happened. And so that was like my first myth that got broken as far as finances. And I think after 8-9 months, I could just breathe, that it's okay to be supported by your husband. Do you follow? Like, it's okay. Like
Wow.
I didn't vanish in thin air. I didn't become a slave. Like these kind of things I had. And so that was one aspect of financial that was very new for me, Sylvia. And then the second big one, that which is where the money map came in, is in it, I think in the second or third year, I said, okay, I've got my experience as a dentist, and so I'll just be like a consultant. I'll use my experience to do some consulting. And I learned how to create a little internet business, where you put out your posts on Facebook. I did a little training, and I thought, it shouldn't be that hard. But nothing like, I I thought I'll be able to build that business just like I could build my dental practice. It was like completely not happening. And after about 2 years of truly trying, I mean, but at the same time struggling to build anything, I that's when I realized that, something's going on. I'm clearly not able to bring in money like I thought I can. And And then, that's when I got into this, I kind of started to understand this money, went into myself, and I had mentors too, and this whole idea of a money map emerged. But it was really to help my own self, because I was like, what's going on? And that's when I realized the energy of money is what attracts money or works with money. It's not about what you do. In my dental profession, because dentistry is such an established profession, I could get to a certain amount by default just because I was a dentist. But honestly, my energy with the money was playing out the same way as when I was not a dentist. You follow? Like, I still ended up with the same amount of savings. I still ended up with the same amount of, you know, uh, kind of uncertainty with earning. All those things were the same. So yeah, so you start to see there's so much more to do with each aspect of your money than just your profession, or you know yeah, these external things. It's not that.
Wow, very interesting. I also liked your first point about that power dynamics and how you said that, yeah, you didn't want to lose your independency. And I think many women struggle with that because, of course, we now raised, hey, stand up for yourself. You can be independent and you can explore the world, and you just have to work hard, and really like not letting anybody take care or take care for us or support us, and also the beauty in support. And yeah, it's something that is completely denied somehow by the culture. And I love that you shared that. And the second point, I really want to dig into this a little bit more because I did the Money Map course with you, and I think it's an incredible, powerful tool, which was absolutely blowing my mind. Just by looking at numbers, we could really go to the deepest secrets of our soul, let's say. And it took steps to really understand the Money Map for me, I'd say. But it was incredibly powerful. Can you share a little bit how it works? And also, yeah, how you use money as a lens to look at your patterns and how you work and function in life.
Yeah, so just as a brief overview, so I'll tell you that I did that money map related coaching with you, and and it's been about little over a year now that I'm actually not doing that. I'm not doing any coaching right now. Just gone deep into my own journey again. Uh, but having said that, in fact, when you brought up this interview, I kind of, after a whole year, revisited that money map. Just, I was like, I need to refresh my memory because Sylvia's going to ask me about it. And I can see it in such a deeper light. So I'm just going to share this, what came to me today morning. And even you might be a little surprised because it's kind of evolved from a year back. Uh, but here's the thing. So when we say this money map, what we looked at was, your income, your savings, your debt, income goals, and then any toxic relation to money. That was one category. And uh, as a summary, each of these five kinds of money have a separate energy in itself. So there are really five aspects of our own energy, and the external manifestation of those five aspects of our own energy is what our income looks like, is what our savings looks like, is what our debt looks like, that way. So do you see that? That's really what we are calling a money map. It's really a map of our own energies, uh, 5 different kind of energies that translate into, these 5 versions externally. And um, and then at a even deeper level, as I have been looking at these 5 energies, there are so many more, but these 5, you start to realize they are all tied to, feelings of, like, your income is really about how worthy you feel. It's all about your worthiness. If you feel worthy, you're going to attract an income. It's just that simple. And can go a lot more deeper into the worthiness aspect, but that self-esteem, worthiness, that when you go into savings, for example, savings is about your security. How safe do you feel? That's going to translate into how your savings are, how much, how easy it is for you to keep it, how comfortable you are kind of having, how much savings you need to feel comfortable. All that is to do with your energy of being secure in this world. Do you see that? So in that way, each of these energies has leads us, like, as we explore our money from outside, we start to really explore our own energies, and through that we start to explore our, real, our soul essences, like, am I truly complete in this world? Because the reality is, our soul, in our true essence, we are complete, we are secure just by being here. We are worthy just because we don't have to do a thing. But to reach that space, if you follow, is the work, because obviously in reality we don't feel that way, right? This is theoretical. But you start to uncover all the things that are not letting you truly know that in you, right? Not intellectually, but truly be that in you. So that's the
Wow, I love that, what you said. And I can also relate to it when you're saying that we are worthy by ourselves, just by being. And then also because when we be, we also do stuff. But if we let ourselves allow to do whatever we feel like doing, and then also allow us to receive money by doing what we love, then we get to this fulfillment, right? So somehow, let's say also with the dentist job, we can get conditioned to do this one thing to feel worthy, right? But then the worthiness is only in this one thing, and it's not in the whole life. And I really like how you explained to shift that.
exactly. From that place, Sylvia, it feels like, oh, you mean I'm just worthy, I'm already safe, then what do? I don't have to do anything, I'll become lazy. This is again the mind coming up. But when you are truly being that, what emerges, what doing emerges, oh my God, it will always be for the greater good. It will not be about you. It will just not, because now you're that place connects you with everything. And so whatever doing will emerge, it will emerge. You will not sit in a corner at all. In fact, you will get really charged and motivated to do in the world. But that doing that emerges will be about the greater good. It'll be good for you, but it'll be much more than you. And that doing is fulfilling. Even if you do 2% of that doing, that satisfaction is through the roof. That's the difference.
Wow, that's powerful. That's really powerful how you put it. And I like that you said, like, hey, only 2% doing of what your soul is craving to do, and working from this place of allowance changed everything. That's amazing. Nomita, you introduced us already to two energies of the five, and I thought it was very helpful. Could you also introduce us to the last three? Because you said
Oh,
the first one was all about self-worth, the second one all about safety. How about the other three?
yeah. So third one is debt, right? So uh, the amount you owe is to, how would I put it? Um, like you're owning that energy is really to do with, where you feel, um how will I call it? It's not a, it's a, mm, when you feel that you owe people money, so you feel you are, um it's a feeling of lack, like you don't have enough. You follow, and now you don't have enough and you are owning. So it's such a feeling of like, god, I don't, I'm does that make sense? It's not a worthy but a lack, like I don't have it in me. And so when you operate from that energy, your everything that you're receiving, you feel like now you owe it back, there's a debt created. And so then that's the energy that you go into a vicious cycle with. So that's the debt energy.
Wow.
And you see that, like, I had to feel into it because it's not intellectual, but you have to feel it. And it's like, I know that place in me. I used to have that pretty significant. And then as you start to, like I said, as you start to work within you and start to experience more and more completion within you, all these things start to drop automatically because they are not true. But um and then the fourth one was income goals. Income goal is coming from, yeah, income goal comes from when you start to feel like it's an energy of truly feeling complete. So when as I'm starting to feel more and more complete, I can, like, naturally bigger goals are like, yeah, let's do that. Like, in fact, I don't want a tiny goal because I'm like, of course we can do this, of course we must take on this. Like we have people in the world that have taken up soil conservation in the world. And this one individual, but it's like, yeah, of course I have to take on that to preserve mother earth. So do you see that? It's like, wow, what a goal. So, and you see how it's not an income goal anymore. It'll this tying to money in the true sense of income goal, but it's an income for this earth to conserve our soil. Do you see how for the greater good everything starts to become? So that's the energy for the income goal. And the last one, the toxic energy is, it's really not one energy, but an example for that would be, like if you're receiving money uh, from a divorce settlement, that money that comes, let's say, monthly. So you're receiving money, but there is such a feeling of, not a good feeling because it reminds you of a divorce, and so it's not a healthy, positive way of receiving money. So it's a toxic energy. And so again, energetically, when you go in, like in this example, obviously it is showing you that you are feeling, you and your ex-husband, that relationship energy is so ugly. And one of the things that I've realized with my own husband, I'll tell you, it's been a breakthrough to see him in that way. I mean, he's my husband and all, we are not divorced, but still, you right, with the spouse, it's we all go through the highest amount of friction with your
True.
significant other, just by the nature of the thing. uh, what has helped me is I see my husband now first as a fellow traveler on this journey, and then I see him as my husband. So, we are all fellow travelers that are here to help each other find our truth. And so, anytime there is a friction, I don't take it personally. I'm like, this fellow traveler is knocking on my door, trying to tell me, hey, wake up to this thing. And so then, I don't make it personal. Oh, my husband is doing this. I'm like, oh, thank you, fellow traveler. And he happens to be my husband. But do you see that approach, that way of approaching him or anybody else now is helping me a lot to not take things personally at all. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that is powerful. And I liked how you took us onto this journey through the different categories, because we know that some people who have a massive income maybe have also huge expenses on the other side, and at the end of the day don't have that much money. Or people maybe have a lot of money that they got from maybe have a lot of money on their bank account, but they don't even feel that they have a lot. They still feel this lack underneath. All these things, like there's the difference between the actual amount of money and how it makes us feel. And somehow we assume that it should be the same for everyone. But what I loved about the coaching is that when we look through the lens, we see that it's a highly individual journey that takes us right to our deepest beliefs and feelings. Can you maybe from your experience tell us some stories that you uncovered looking through these lenses, or maybe also explain us a little bit how it works, how your process works, so that people understand how they come to these deep roots?
No. So the process is, once you do this diagnostic, then of course the work is, well, how do I clear these blocks? Change these beliefs, these patterns, these conditionings. And there is just so many different tools that are available. Different religions have different way to do that. Really, that's what. So it doesn't matter. So in my coaching, when I did with y'all, we used tapping a lot. We used some visualization, some meditations. I just picked some tools that I use in my day to day, but it's not limited to that at all. There's plenty of tools. So really the point is not, the tools are just tools, doesn't matter what, as long as you use them and it works, it helps you. And then, so there's the diagnostic, there's the work using the tools, and then there is, of course, you come to an opening to where it's like, oh, now, like a place comes, it's like, well, oh my gosh, like now I've come out of the tunnel, and it's like, so what am I here to do? Like you start to ask the bigger questions. And then there is the whole, like, a journey of uncovering that aspect, and not even uncovering, but letting yourself be opened up to that understanding, that kind of being led to that place of, what am I doing here? How am I best serving in this world, in this lifetime? And so I think that's really the journey. And so Money Map coaching is such a, right, you see that it's just one entry point into this journey of our life. Yeah.
Wow, I loved how you said that at the end, it is not about the money. At the end, it's about finding out what you're really here for. And I liked what you said about the income goals. We know many people set income goals and then they never reach it, and then the next one, and so on and so on. But the way you described it, it was about setting a goal that is bigger than you and reaching it. And by doing that, also attracting money, but really by kind of aligning yourself with your vision and your purpose, that will get you where you really want to get.
You
So
nailed
I
it.
really liked it, what you said
Yeah.
there.
All this will fall in place when you get there. But you have to do all this work to reach. It's like once you reach that place, you don't have to do anything. The income will come, the savings will come, all that will be like easy. But the work is to reach that place where you then don't have to do anything because you're already there.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
Rita, I also know that you are amazing at tapping. I don't know, I haven't asked you that before, so it just came to my mind. Would you feel like doing like a 5-minute tapping with us about aligning yourself with what you're here for and letting go of what comes to your mind straight?
Sylvia, I haven't done this in a while. I mean, really, so I'll make it up, but tapping is not, essentially it is, we remember, we start out by tapping really is activating, uh, us to connect with our body. Really, that's what we are doing. We're reconnecting with that, deeper part in us. And the thing is that with tapping, in the beginning, you're going to, even though you're connecting with the body, I'm touching my body part, but my mind is functioning. So the whole idea is to stay connected with the body, but to let all the stuff from the mind first just come out. It's like a brain dump, let it come out. And then you're still connected with the body. Now the wisdom from the body will start to surface, and just this tapping, this physically actually tapping, helps us to not go back all the way into our mind. That's all. It's a physical way to stay in touch with your body. Like, that's all it is. So does that make sense? And so, let's say we want to do a tapping on, what did you say you wanted to do on?
Maybe on letting the worry about money go and really allowing yourself to go deeper to connect to your purpose. Is that something we could do, or is it too broad?
Yeah, I get, so I would narrow it down, like you said. I would definitely narrow it down to, you want to find where you're stuck and then start tapping from that point. And so
Perfect.
let's say it's about, let's say a classic place of stuckness, like for me, would be it would be like, but I can't let go of feeling the need to earn money. Like, it's like you're telling me all these woo-woo stuff, but I have to earn money, I have to pay money, I have to pay my bills, at the end of the month. And so do you follow? So there's a block, like, but I have to earn. I mean, I'm saying it's a block, but it's a real thing. And you're like, the moment that thought comes, you can't move further, right? Because come on, I have to earn. Like, so let's say we tap that. I don't know what will come out of it at all.
Yes.
I'm just we'll go for it. So there's always a little starting, and I mean, I'm just going to make up this, but I like to just ground, and I'd like to, take like maybe 2 deep breaths. I just want to say that I want to align with the universe, with God, to find the deeper truth in this, from this place, from this place of I have to earn money. Okay, so we start out with kind of the corner of the palm here, and you can say something like, but I have to earn money. So you would repeat that, but I have to earn money.
I'm not going to say it because then it's going to be double in the recording.
Oh, I see.
I will mute myself.
Yeah. So I have to, but I have to earn money. There's no other go. I have to earn, make money. And you go, yeah. This is such a big deal. I have all these bills to pay. I have no choice but to earn a living, and so that I can pay these bills. I have to. Okay, moving up. All this wisdom, all this talk about doing what you love, feeling happiness, all that is good and dandy, but I have to stay in this job. I have no choice. Even if I don't like it, I've got to stay in this job because that's how I make my paycheck. I have to stay in this job. Take nice deep breaths as you go along. Then the fourth one was here. There's really no one order, but I like it this way. So moving along, yeah, I understand that this job is there to support me and my family. It does get long. It does get boring. Sometimes I just can't stand my boss, but I have to stay in this job because it gives me my paycheck. Moving along, here, at your collarbone. See, now the brain dump is almost over. No new thoughts like this are coming up. And so you just stay with that. And then, each one will have their own kind of tapping journey, but I'm just going to continue mine here. So as much, yeah, I feel it. This job is there serving a purpose. It's serving a purpose right now. I'm actually grateful for this job. It gives me the peace and the security that my family is going to be provided for. I'm actually grateful to the people that I work with. Then back up here, just above the between the eyebrows. As I'm in this job, I know I have some time in the evenings to pursue, in my case, to pursue this this mentoring to uncover, the deeper power in me. I can spare half an hour to 45 minutes every day doing that work of uncovering. Yeah, I can do that while being in my job. You know, it actually, I actually feel quite fortunate that I have this job and I have found this mentor where I can do this inner work. Yes, I am feeling actually fortunate about where I am right now. I can relax. I can smile. It's actually, it's actually, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to my boss. I'm grateful to my family, my kids. I'm grateful for this kind of mentorship. I have nothing to complain. I'm only grateful for all this that I have. You take a nice deep breath. See, I could have gone on a little more, but a time will come where you feel complete. Like I'm a little teary-eyed right now. I'm grateful that Sylvia has got me on this podcast. I really am. And then you just close up with a prayer, a gratitude, or just a moment of silent gratitude. And then you're done. Sylvia.
Thank you so much, Nomita. That was wonderful. And I wanted to say something about it because I've experienced your work. What I like about this tapping technique and the way you're doing it is that it really reveals this inner dialogue, which is so do you say fragmented? So we have this friction in us. We have this one thought like, oh my God, I should be grateful. And then there's others, so, oh my God, I cannot stand it a day more, And it's not about, it doesn't matter if it's a job for those people who already are in their journey of entrepreneurship or whatever. There might be this friction in us. And I catch sometimes myself like fighting against myself. And that is where the stuckness comes from and where I cannot move on and where it costs so much energy when we're fighting against ourselves. And to really give us a space to reveal this inner dialogue. And I think the way you do it, it's very gentle and very kind, like to really embrace with kindness that there are these different thoughts. And I think that's a healing journey because we need to grow this compassion for ourselves and others in order to grow.
Yes.
So thank you so much for let us experience how you're working. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you
so much, Nomita. Do you have one last word for our listeners and watchers, viewers? Something you really would like to let them know on their journey to find their true self? Like, what is key to find your true self? And what can they do right now?
Oh, I think we exactly discussed that, Sylvia. There's no one thing, but you just, you just sit with yourself and listen, because that's when you'll know where you need to enter into this journey, really into the real journey of our life. So let your own self guide you, but for that probably the the biggest step you can take is to sit with yourself and start to listen to that, your own guidance, so that's for sure a key thing. Yeah, and I just want to share that I am, like, I'd love, see, I'm not mentoring per se. If something comes up, like I said, this new way of money mapping, I'm open to it. I'm just, as we speak, I'm saying I'm open to it. But I would like, I'll just say, like, I have a Facebook page. I think it's Nomita Metha only. You'll find me, and I post impromptu videos on it. And then I am, like, as I'm emerging, I'm kind of starting to be pulled towards one or two missions that are just more about the greater good. And so I'm going to stay in touch regarding my work uh, with even those missions on Facebook. And so if anyone is intrigued or wants to kind of stay in this energy with me, then join me on my Facebook page. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Beautiful. Thank you for
And
this.
you can reach me on that same Facebook Messenger, right? Like you did, Sylvia. So you can
Perfect.
connect with me. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for this invitation. We will link, I will link your page in the show notes. And I love that you take people onto your journey. And I know that you're doing a lot of Facebook posts or lives also where you share your wisdom.
Yeah.
And if anybody feels drawn to your energy, please contact Nomita, because I can really recommend her, because she has this emotional drive to dig deep into why is this feeling there and what is the meaning and how can we uncover it. And I think that's where the magic happens, when we understand ourselves better and our emotions.
Beautiful. And Sylvia, I want to applaud you for starting this this podcast series. It takes a lot of courage and so much of feeling of giving, because you're just doing this just so that it helps people. So I'm just really happy and proud of you for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nomita. It was wonderful, and thank you for the great interview.
Lovely. Thank you all. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.